Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're going to be taking a look at r/TrueOffMyChest, where OP discovered that he is not the father. Let's begin. My wife just told me that my firstborn is not mine. Posted by Reddit user Throwaway Heartbreak.
Less than 24 hours, my wife called me crying asking if I could get off early because she needed to tell me something. I get home and she breaks down and tells me that she has a secret and it has been eating away her mental health and she can't hold it anymore. She tells me that my oldest is probably not mine. We have two kids, 4 and 2. She tells me a story that she was young and stupid and we had taken a break at that time and was talking to someone else during the break. When she came up pregnant, other guy said he was not ready and she ultimately just said it was mine. My first reaction was shock. Then I assured her that no matter what, the oldest is my daughter. We all make mistakes is what I told us. I told her no DNA test was necessary and hugged her.
That's stupid! You're stupid! Stop being stupid!
But during the night, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't connect the dots, and when I did, it just got worse. So here is our story. We met in 2015 at work, went on some dates and made it official pretty quickly. We were young, like she states, 19 and 17. But here is where the more I think about it, the more it hurts. We have dated for 3 years and have the typical teenage love problems, jealousy, insecurities, etc. I decide to enlist in the military in 2018. During basic, writing letters was horrible. I never received mine. In frustration, I write in one of those that she is free to go. I don't have time to deal with emotions for 4 months. Fast forward to graduation, she shows up and we have sex and she cries and I asked her what's wrong and she just said that she missed me. We continue dating and she ends up pregnant by the following month. I was not ready for kids, but that's what I get for not practicing safe sex. We get married the following year before the baby is born and have another baby 3 years after that. And now we are here. In my sleepless night, I thought, how was it possible that she had gotten pregnant if we were dating since 2015 and baby was conceived in 2018? From a break of what? 2 weeks, maybe 3. Meet someone else and have intercourse just like that, or was I being lied to all this time? I don't know what to believe anymore. Felt like I was just used as the best candidate to raise this kid with lies. I don't know what to do, just cry for now. Maybe some clear thoughts will come through as this pass. But since I cannot think straight, any advice? TDLR, wife confess firstborn might not be mine. I tell her it's fine and no matter what, kids are mine. As time passes, I feel betrayed and lied to from the start.
OP, you were lied to, and you know it. You were the best option. She used you, my friend. She probably only confessed because it was about to come out. Either a friend or a family figured it out and ordered her to tell, or the kid is starting to resemble the other guy. She held this for years from you, my dude. She wouldn't just volunteer this information now unless she was backed into a corner. And now for today's second story. Our marriage is falling apart and I don't know what to do. Posted by Reddit user IllHighlight.
I and my wife are in a hard spot. I've been working 2 jobs, 70-hour weeks for a year now in order to save up for a visa application we need. Over the last 4 months our relationship has really suffered. I admit I was often too tired to give her the love, care and attention she deserves. Our sex life also suffered. It was great before. Started communicating less, arguing more. The house is less peaceful by the day and more stressful. She works hard too, but even with that it's been hard financially. Although I was often completely exhausted, I do take responsibility for not caring for her as any wife deserves. I failed on the basic stuff. She also asked me if I had masturbated at any point and I admitted I had. After 2 to 3 weeks of trying to initiate sex but not having the opportunity due to kids or work. Over the last 2 to 3 months, she kept saying she's not happy and wants to divorce. I kept saying I don't want that and I love her, but every time I tried to show affection or initiate sex, I felt rebuked too. Talking about it now, she says I had pushed her away so far she couldn't see me in the same way anymore. Fast forward to now, we are on holiday, ostensibly to focus on us and solve things. She says she loves me, I'm the love of her life, but she wants a divorce. 5 days ago I discover through reading notes of texts she had sent him, that for the past 2 months at least she has been getting increasingly close to another man, including sexually. Heart thumping, mind reeling, all of that. The words are still seared into my mind. I'm generally a calm man, but I storm out and take my wedding ring off in rage. Later I confront her. She hides nothing, says she's sorry and that she still loves me and doesn't love him but does like him, and that for her she's been checked out for months and been saying she wants a divorce and meant it, and I didn't do enough to make her feel loved and didn't confront the obvious issues, procrastinated. Meanwhile, he treats her in the way she feels she deserves and wishes I did. She said she's not in the right, admits she should have been more honest and isn't proud of what had happened, but has feelings for him too and is confused now and was angry at me, felt far away from me. I still love this woman a lot. Can't help it. We're basically sweethearts. She's my first and only sexual partner, so this hurts especially. Since we're both been on holiday, away from life stresses and him, our sex life has rekindled and she wants me all the time. She even outright says that nothing compares to our sex, that she doesn't orgasm with him like she does with me. She says she still loves me a lot but feels so hurt by my absence and my lack of affection and care that it is hard for her to overlook the past and my neglect of her feelings and needs. For her, we are separated right now, although we inevitably end up having sex. She is also still in contact with the other man and admits openly to me that she has feelings for him. The jealousy is unreal in me when we talk about him, but is confused about what to do because she loves me. I told her she'd probably regret picking him over me at this point. She agreed that's probably true, but that they get along well and she likes being with him and that I've hurt her a lot, and she'll probably take a risk on him. I keep telling her to stay, for our family and our love, and she says she thinks about that every minute, but can't make her mind up about what she wants. She's open about that. Edit. I've since made it clear I'm not going to hang around in this situation, that obviously I love her, but unless she cuts him 100% and commits to working on us, I'm going to go my way.
OP, she cheated on you. She openly disrespects you, and yet you are still willing to reconcile. Just how spineless can you be? Where is your self-respect? If you even have an ounce of dignity left, get the hell away from her and kick her to the streets. And now for today's final story. Should I confront my wife over something that happened 15 years ago? Posted by Reddit user Yawa account.
For many years I have suspected my wife of cheating, at least for a period of time years back. For reasons I can't exactly explain, I have never addressed it with her, even though it continues to worry me after all this time. It has certainly had an impact on our relationship because 1, it impacts my confidence about the relationship and about myself, and 2, it has caused me not to trust her, which has certainly come out in negative behavior on my part over the years. 15 years ago, I was already well into my career and my wife, 13 years my junior, was in university. At that time, we still had a house phone with caller ID, and I began to notice calls a few times a week from a local video store. I mentioned it to my wife and she said, yeah, that's weird. One day I came home from work, she wasn't home and there had just been a missed call. I called the number and a young man picked up. I asked if he's just called and he said yeah, must have dialed the wrong area code. These calls stopped soon after that, but over a period of a few weeks it probably happened a dozen times. That's a lot of wrong area codes. Not long after this, I came home from work and saw my wife's car in the parking lot. She was home earlier than expected, and when I came into the apartment, I saw that she was in bed. I came into the bedroom and realized she was under the covers still in her overcoat and had been masturbating, vibrator next to her in bed. I mean, who starts jerking off before they even take their coat off? My assumption was she's rushed in to have phone sex, but only had time to hang up the phone before I came into the room. Also, at this time sex between us really took a dive. I once confronted her about that, asking what was going on and whether there was someone else she was interested in. She didn't say no. What she said was, well, if there was someone else, you'd never know about it.
Why are you still here?
Since sex dropped off and we were in a rough spot, I suggested we go to a marriage counselor who specializes in intimacy. We went to the first session and just put out there that our sex life is off, that she doesn't seem interested in me. The therapist asked my wife, are you not interested in sex generally? Are you not attracted to your husband? Are there other men who you feel attracted to? She couldn't answer any of those questions, just sat silent, and the next day told me she wasn't going back to therapy. There have been lots of little things in the ensuing years that have just not seemed right. I travel internationally for work, and once when I was preparing to go on a trip, she spent the last 2 hours cleaning the house before I left for the airport. This might not seem like a big deal, but my wife is not a house cleaner. Then I called her from the airport, and when she picked up, my dog was barking as he only does when someone is at the door. When I asked what he was barking about, she said she didn't know. Maybe he heard something. I knew what that bark meant. I once came home from a business trip and there were 2 espresso cups in the dishwasher. We never have espresso or use espresso cups, they just sit in the cabinet. And about a year ago we were having a minor argument about something and the issue of the missed calls came up. I said if it felt like I didn't trust her, it may go back to those missed calls. She clearly knew exactly what I meant, and I told her then that I had called that number and a guy answered. I said, you probably know that already, right? She said nothing, just looked horrified. But no defense. Didn't even say I was imagining things or whatever. Last thing, just by chance I mentioned the security cameras in our parking area. She apparently never realized there are cameras, and she was visibly agitated, asking where they are and who do I think checks them. She really is a pretty calm person in general, so this was out of character. Several other minor things have happened over the years, but just similar to what I already shared. It's the kind of thing where taken individually they might mean nothing, but connecting the dots could mean she's a cheater. But what to do? Lately I just feel like I need to get past this. I can go for months never thinking about it, but then it resurfaces and it really gets me down. I do feel like there was another relationship, at least back then, and who knows if there have been others, or even this one could still be happening on some level. But not sure whether to just ask her straight out what happened, leave it be, or divorce her. It is impacting our relationship to this day because I have become distrusting and concerned about what is happening when I am away. Really makes me feel off balance, but lacking real evidence I could just seem paranoid and distrusting. Maybe you think I am too. What do you think? Any advice?
Everything you say to me is pissing me off.
The reason why you are so miserable today is because you are a coward, OP. You knew damn well that she was cheating on you all those years ago, and yet you stayed like the spineless simp that you are. Stop wasting any more of your precious years and kick her to the streets. Go to the gym and get your mental health in order. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.